Let's talk about the rappers for a minute. Can we talk about the rappers for a moment? Let's talk about Tupac Shakur for a moment. Tupac Shakur is a child of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, born out of the spirit of the revolution of the 60s. Tupac Shakur, fire in his bones, boldness and rebellion in his blood. Born from his beautiful, bold Black Panther mama, Afeni, sitting in the jail cell, a revolutionary woman carrying the fruit of life, marking the child in her womb, marking the child with rebellion, marking the child with insurrection, marking the child with a spirit to not go along with what's been going on.
Me, Young G, with a gift to give.
And what's going down with that, so I wanted to get his view, and here goes a little something.
I'm like a lightning rod because I'm attacking New York's finest. They're self-proclaimed king of New York. When Biggie came out here, he screamed out, Brooklyn's in the house. We don't beat and say, why are you starting a war? Why is everybody, when I say West Side, it hurt people's feelings.
When you went to the infamous interviewing Tupac in LA while the Biggie beef, all that's going on. Oh my was God, Puffy and them mad at you? Was Bad Boy mad at you for interviewing Tupac?
This is where we're going, Joey.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's fine. It's fine. No. You know why I get nervous? Is because.
Oh no, I'm not jamming you up. Never.
No, listen. You're not jamming me up. Trust me, it's fine. I can talk about anything. But
I don't jam nobody up on a Fat Joe show.
Nah,
it's
fine.
You want to say.
No, the problem is I have this Tupac.
I'm saying what they upset with you. You from New York, the voice of New York. You going out there to interview Tupac? Huh?
No, they didn't love it. They didn't love it.
Oh, so they was a little upset about that. I never knew that.
Yeah, they didn't love it. It took me and Big a minute. I'm so happy that we got to a better place after, because Big didn't love it. He never told me, but somebody else told me. But we didn't speak about it, but we just kind of smoothed it out. And then he wound up coming. It was my birthday, and he came up to my show, and he wanted to freestyle, and it was all good. It was fine. But, you know, I did my best to protect everybody in that space. Like, everybody knows the story that I didn't air the whole thing because I was really worried about making it worse. And I just tried to do the best I could in that situation. And I think ultimately that's all you could ever do, right? And if you know in your heart you try to do the right thing all the time and you hope that people respect it.
Because you guys were looked upon as, I'm telling you from an artist perspective, I love you as a sister brother. I'm not saying you, but Hot 97 was looked upon as the evil empire at one point because it was the only game in town. It was no other station. And it was like, you better do what the fuck they say or you're fucked.
Only Gab can do it like this. Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is MAKAVELI Media. So back in 1996, Angie Martinez did an interview with Tupac Shakur that never truly saw the light of day. Now, there's been several reasons why people claim the interview never came out. Angie herself said she's trying to protect all parties involved. At the time, Tupac said some very hurtful and damning things about Bad Boy Records, P. Diddy, and Puff Daddy surrounding his 1994 shooting at the Quad Studio. She said she didn't want to get involved and she thought she would only be adding fuel to the fire that already was getting out of hand with the whole East Coast and West Coast rap feud, or should I say rap beef. So earlier last year, Angie Martinez flirted with the idea of finally releasing this infamous interview with Tupac. But once again, us hip-hop fans have never seen it or heard the whole thing in its full entirety. Now, not too long ago, Fat Joe did an interview with Angie Martinez on his IG Live, and he asked Angie Martinez straight up, was it true that Puffy and Biggie wasn't too happy about your interview with Tupac? Now, Angie kind of danced around it. She didn't want to talk about it at first, and then she said yes, that she heard from other people that Biggie wasn't too thrilled about her interviewing Tupac, and that she was trying to smooth the situation out. She was trying to be a peacemaker instead of an instigator. But Fat Joe came out and said so many words that, first of all, if you work for Hot 97, you're not going to go against what certain people want you to do. Now, you got to look at who holds the power. A journalist or a music mogul? Angie Martinez or P. Diddy? Now, as a journalist, you're supposed to be biased in your work, but yes, they do make friends with different artists, and yes, they do like some artists over other artists. Human nature. And I do believe that some DJs and journalists take payola. They take gifts and bribes from these artists as well. So you never know how deep someone could be in someone else's pocket. Somebody could be in debt with somebody to the degree where it affects their work profession, if you know what I mean. Me, truly, I don't think the Tupac interview will ever see the light of day. I don't think we'll never hear the whole interview. We'll always hear bits and pieces of what Tupac and Angie talked about that day, and we can just speculate what that was. We pretty much know what it is, but I'm sure some things that Tupac never shared before. That's what made this interview so powerful. But I don't believe for 1 second that Puffy is going to ever allow Angie Martinez to put this interview up. You know, she might be in debt. She may be fearful. You know, she may have promised him, she might have sold the rights to the interview to P. Diddy for all we know. But this interview, in my opinion, won't ever see the light of day. And it's sad because at this point, I mean, everybody would want to hear it. I'm sure I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm sure you out there would like to hear exactly what Tupac said that was so risque that she can't even put it out there. We done heard Pac say any and everything at this point. What made this just so damning that she couldn't put it out? And what is it that made Biggie and P. Diddy still to this day so fearful that you might hear it? I don't know, y'all. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to sub to the channel. This is MAKAVELI Media. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm your homie Gab. I'm signing off. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.